Hello and welcome to Black Box Trading. I'm your host JT, and here on the channel we focus on technical analysis using the Black Box alphanumerics strategy. So we've been teaching alphanumerics for many years. If you're new to the channel, it is a large macro trading strategy. And we have automated that. So if you guys want to check out blackbox.pro, go ahead and check out the links below and get signed up for your free Bitcoin trading bot. Now, in today's video, I want to cover Bitcoin. Bitcoin has fallen out of the consolidation. So we were looking at it as a little bit of a distribution. We were entertaining the bullish side and saying, you know, this is a consolidation. Let's see which way it breaks. And it has broken to the downside. So we're going to talk about downside targets. We're going to talk about are we bullish, are we bearish, where I think we're headed in this market. And yeah, without any further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the king of all crypto. That is Bitcoin. Now, we usually start on higher time frames, but in today's video, we're going to start here on the 4 hour. So this consolidation has broken to the downside. Targets from a TA point of view, looking at support and resistance, you can see back here, we did hold this level as support. We held it as support, got trapped as resistance, 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 and that was the area of the breakout. So this area right here at around $27,000 is a very important support level for the price of Bitcoin right now. And it is plausible that we could come down and visit those levels. So we could be looking at something like this and then potentially upside. So the wave is green. Alphanumerics is green. That means the bias is bullish. So anything that we look at on the charts today is going to be looked at with a bullish bias. Don't care about the fundamentals. Don't care about the FOMC. Don't care about this thing, that thing. I really don't care. We just follow the strategy, and the strategy yields us results that are close to 80% correct. So 1 out of every 5 trades will fail, but hey, that's trading. That's the way things work. But I do maintain a bullish bias at this point for the price of Bitcoin. So another thing on alphanumerics here on the 4 hour, we are inside the green wave and we have a green diamond. I don't know if you can see that right here. Could be a little brighter. Could be a little bit easier to see, but we do have a green diamond flashing. That is a buy signal on the alphanumerics indicator. If you have been sidelined with Black Box looking for an opportunity to enter, this is technically an entry point. Now, going back to that support level at around 27,000, I actually earlier did a point and figure count. If we just flip this over to the point and figure chart, do a quick count, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns until the breakdown candle. 5 times 300 is 1,500. Times that by 3 is 4,500. So we have a $4,500 gap down potential. So let's switch it back over to the candles and see where that kind of lands us. So we would be looking at $4,500 down from this wick. Bitcoin refuses to pump, ignores the stock market, rallies for a week now. Yeah. 4,500 brings us down a little bit lower here. So potential bearish case scenario bringing us to $26,000. It's not what I want to see because that will invalidate the trade. That will flip the green wave to a red wave, which will flip our bias back to bearish. And then the optimistic or bullish scenario for a target is right here at around the support level. So we do have a lot of confluence in this level at this area of $27,000. So that's the area to watch right now. But do keep in mind that alphanumerics is flashing a buy signal right here. So this could be the bottom. We could trade back in and head up to higher levels. So overall, no matter which way I look at it, until we are below 26.2, I'm going to remain bullish on this one. Let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance is trending back to the trading range. Let's go to a higher time frame here. Let's go to the 3-day. Let's turn alphanumerics off for a moment. We are trending back towards a retest of the top of the range right here. This would indicate strength in altcoins. If we can continue this trend down here and consolidate, that would be a stronger move inside of altcoins. Not a huge move. Not a huge move. We're not in big moves territory for altcoins. This is still macro uptrend. So do take that into consideration. That's a terrible arrow, but we are still in an uptrend when it comes to Bitcoin dominance. So you're not going to see long sustained outperformance of altcoins against Bitcoin. You will see outperformance. You will see short little bursts of a move in the altcoins, but it's not going to be sustained. You're not going to have those trending markets where altcoins day after day, week after week, month after month are outperforming Bitcoin. It's kind of neutral right now with a focus on Bitcoin. Taking a look at Ethereum on the Bitcoin pair, still in a downtrend here, heading down to my target of around 5 million sats per ETH. So I'm looking down here for this to conclude at around 5 million sats per ETH. This trend hasn't been broken yet. ETH has been outperforming, or ETH has been performing well on the fiat pair, on the dollar pair. But as far as Ethereum's ability to get you more Satoshis, it's still in a downtrend. So the two are relatively neutral when compared. Taking a look at Ethereum on the dollar pair, though, we have a very bullish formation. We have this accumulation after a large retracement, big, huge bear market. No, that's not news to anybody. And we have this accumulation with rising bottoms. We keep making higher lows throughout this, but up against a very important resistance right at around the psychological level of $2,000. So if we get a break above this, it's very likely that this rallies. You know, there's not a lot holding us back if we are to get above that. I would not be surprised to see us at around the $3,000 to $3,200 range. But short term, we could also come down and revisit the lows and test the upwards sloping line of support once again. So that would be 1, 2, potentially 3 tests of the lower end of the range. Now, this is the chart that's very interesting. This is the one that I think is quite telling. If we were going to try and predict the future, which we don't, technical analysis is not about predicting the future. It's just about interpreting the data as it is presented to you. But the dollar is on a bearish retest of the underside of the descending triangle that it broke down from 2 weeks ago. So we had the breakdown in the dollar. This is a signal that the trend is going to continue to the downside. We came up for the bearish retest. It's statistically speaking, very likely that we do get a rejection from this, take out the lows and continue that trend to the downside. Now, if it does get back inside of the triangle due to some sort of fundamental news with the FOMC or whatever, we don't trade fundamentals, we strictly trade the technicals, then it could get back inside of the consolidation and we would have to adjust the formation. But as it stands right now, currently, with our bullish bias in place, the dollar is looking to be setting up for a rejection at this level, which would continue the stock market rally. We could continue to see higher levels inside of the S&P. This has just been on a just up only, really, as far as the S&P. You know, it's characteristic of the S&P to kind of just tick along, day after day, just kind of trend to the upside in a nice, tight, solid range. When it is trending positively, it's very typical to get this type of price action where it just ticks slowly to the upside. And we could be beginning that cycle again. Now, if we did break past the high here at 479 here on the Spider, the ETF, then likely it'll continue this trend to the upside. Same story here over on the NASDAQ. Getting close to the prior or the all-time high of the NASDAQ. And if the dollar heads down, this will head up. Gold is just struggling. It's up at its all-time high. It's currently put in a triple top. Has not gotten a rejection from this third top, but I wouldn't be surprised if it does reject at these levels, especially if we start to see a rally in traditional finance. Gold is traditionally a hedge against a downtrend in the economy, if we continue to see higher prices in the equities markets, then this will confirm a triple top, and we'll probably come down to revisit at least the $1,800 level here for the price of gold. Cardano, nothing really to report here. It's on the watch list. We'll cover it, but really, there's nothing to get excited about in Cardano until you can get above this downward sloping line of resistance. So moving on, that's what we're looking for. We need to break that downward sloping line of resistance. BNB getting a rejection from the ICE. We've been talking about this one for months. I'm very bearish on BNB. I think that Binance is a shady exchange that has been propping up the BNB token for quite some time. If the markets are correct and it is a good vehicle for realizing price, then we could see this rejection here. Let me just got a little bit of a issue here with my streaming software. 1 second. There we go. All right. Rocking and rolling. So that's BNB. Next kind of support range is right here at around 183. If we break below that, look at this. Like there's nothing. There's nothing. No support was built whatsoever. There's nothing holding up the price. And I would not be surprised to see us at $48. Been saying it for months. I've been wrong for months, but I've been saying it for months. I don't trust this chart. I don't like what I'm seeing here on BNB. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a big event in Binance. All right, let's move things on to Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash is a beautiful, beautiful, clean Wyckoff setup. I don't recommend that you invest in Bitcoin Cash, but it could be a nice trade, especially if we can come back down and retest the top of the range here and get a rally off of that level. So I do see this coming back down to around the $150 mark for that retest. Not a lot of demand. You can see the diminishing volume here. Demand has gotten really, really slow. It was low demand up until just this random pump, probably due to the ordinal craze. Bitcoin fees were getting very, very expensive. So that brings on new narratives for Bitcoin forks that are more scalable to continue to take some market share. But ultimately, the scaling of Bitcoin will be slow, but it will also happen, in my opinion. So doesn't mean you can't get a good trade on these Bitcoin forks, though. All right. Dogecoin, boring. Really, really not much. I mean, if you're a Doge investor, it kind of sounds like an oxymoron, but if you are a Doge investor, we are at what I perceive to be the floor. This is the general range of the floor here. So it could be a good time to scoop some up if you are interested. One thing Doge has going for it is proof of work. Proof of work is fundamentally quite sound when you bring in regulatory scrutiny. But yeah, it certainly hasn't been showing its ability to outperform any of the other assets inside of the cryptocurrency market. Hex, same thing, just flatlined. I mean, if you're a Hex holder, keep on keeping on. I mean, there's no point in selling now. If you've bought anywhere here and you're all the way down here where it's just flatlined, it's fucking dead. No point in selling right now. It's probably gonna start getting some hype again. I mean, the Hex community is literally insane. They are very good advocates for this questionably legitimate project, but yeah, it's do with that what you will. Litecoin, man, we have been in this trade for months, and it is so boring. It's so boring. The Litecoin halving, it must have happened by now. I don't even know. It must have happened by now, but we got a small little sign of strength coming in for the backup here on top of the trading range. If we can hold the trading range and get back on top of the psychological $100 level, then I could see a rally. But as it stands right now, it's just consolidating. Very, very long consolidation up in this range of approximately 177 days up at this level, just chopping around, getting if you're trying to actively trade this one, you're going to get chopped to bits. That's why we're taking a long-term position on this one. Solana, same thing with Cardano. Until it can reclaim some of the resistances that it has created, there's no point in getting too excited about this. We've got a range here between $25 to $37. Anything below that is not showing market strength compared to other assets in the market. And yeah, XRP, man, XRP is doing fine. It's doing fine. Oh, I'm a little dark. I'm going to have to brighten up the scene a little bit here. Sorry, I don't have my usual studio setup. I am traveling right now. But yeah, XRP, same sort of thing that we're seeing with Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin. We're looking for a retracement back down to the top of the range where we can consolidate. So looking at around the psychological 50-cent mark. If you get a breakout above, once we get down to 50 cents and you get a breakout, that's probably going to be a pretty solid buy signal for anybody looking at the price of XRP, wondering when is a good entry. I think a good entry is coming. And now let's take a look at a few BRC20 tokens. Let's start it off with Track. Track, still wanting it to come down. Emphasis on wanting. I want it to come back down into the green wave. Green wave is currently at 28 cents. So any price below 28 cents, I think, is a great buy. And any price below 13 cents will indicate that we have flipped to bearish. So between 13 to 28 cents is going to be your golden zone for buying Track. I am waiting patiently for my entry. This is a fundamentally strong project. It's the equivalent of Chainlink on Bitcoin. It's also the equivalent of GRT on Bitcoin. It's both GRT and Chainlink for the Bitcoin ecosystem. It's going to be integral for creating DeFi on Bitcoin. That is right, DeFi on Bitcoin. Taking a look at Meme. Meme took a little bit of a beating, making a new low here in the market. And volume is increasing. This is on BitGet. Volume might be too low to really be noteworthy here on this chart, but we do have a bullish divergence forming here on the price of Meme. This coin, there's altcoin season, right? Everybody knows about altcoin season, but there's also little mini seasons, right? There's DeFi summer, there's fucking Olympus DAO fork season, like that was from previous cycle. But one season that does pop up quite often is meme coins. Love it or hate it, people are stupid and want to throw their money into a game of musical chairs. Meme is no different. So in the context of a meme coin bull market, we could see this begin to outperform. But in the current market environment, a lot of people are scared. New retail investors, more scared than any other cohort of the current market. Those are going to be your very unsophisticated investors. And they're going to be the first ones to get shaken out. Those are your paper hands. So meme coins, that's your paper hand crowd. All right. ORD, just it broke below the mean of this trading range. Very likely to come back down to the bottom of the range, which would be a fabulous buying opportunity for ORDI. First BRC20 token ever created. But other than that, it's not that big of a deal. It's not nearly as important as a project as Track is. But yeah, nonetheless, we're seeing developments in these new BRC20 tokens. If you guys aren't already keeping up to date with inscriptions, ordinals, and BRC20, do subscribe to the channel. We are going to be covering them more in the coming months, as this is the kind of the new sector. This is what you're really going to want to pay attention to. So. All right. That's pretty much it for me. Do we have any tickers in the chat that people want to take a look at? Let's take a look at a few mining stocks. Mara is at the top of the range here. We've covered this one a few times. I don't touch the mining stocks, but they are correlated with Bitcoin. If it's more liquid for you to participate in stocks than it is for crypto, then Mara could be a good way for you to get indirect exposure to Bitcoin. Bitcoin miners have been killing it. They have been absolutely killing it since ordinals, since the Taproot upgrade. Miners have been making a killing. So profitability in the mining sector is extremely high. And we're seeing that with a lot of the mining stocks here. Still trapped inside of this trading range. We're up at the top of the range. So the assumption is at least a retest of the mean. Maybe we can break out of this, but until we get a breakout of this level, until we can break above 1888, then it's likely going to be a rejection point from here. How's Olympus going? Down. Olympus down. They rebranded, actually. It's Olympus down. That's one that's not going to come back until at least the halving. Okay. For a lot of altcoins, the halving is going to signify risk back on. Okay. It's where Bitcoin needs to be repriced. The market needs to decide how much is a Bitcoin worth, how much electricity goes into a Bitcoin, how much are users willing to sell it for, and what's going to be the available supply. So there will be a repricing event after the halving. And that is, mathematically speaking, going to go into an upwards direction, which will carry all altcoins. Olympus DAO is a fantastic idea, but I am starting to think that, well, not starting to, I have been thinking for a while that given all of the most recent innovations that we've seen on Bitcoin, Ethereum's role in the greater ecosystem is becoming less important than it was in prior cycles. Smart contracts are really, really important. We do need to have smart contract protocols and smart contract platforms, but Bitcoin is building those frameworks. So if we have a lot of the liquidity, if we have a lot of the wealth, if we have a lot of the user adoption and activity on the main highest market cap coin that we have, which is Bitcoin, which takes up half of the entire cryptocurrency market, I think that a lot of developer activity is going to transition away from Ethereum and start to focus on Bitcoin. What are some other mining stocks? All right, I don't know any Bitcoin mining stocks. So let's just recap what we're seeing here on Bitcoin in real time. So to recap, we are looking at this as a buy signal. We do have a green diamond here on Alpha Numerics. There is a possibility that if this consolidation or this bear, if this flags and gets a continuation, that continuation could bring us down to the $27,000 level. I will be going quite hard if we do reach these levels. The closer you can get to the invalidation point here indicated by the SAR, the better. We have a lot of support up here at 27,000. If we hit that level, I'm going long again, long only, up only. So yeah, that's about it. That's the market update. If you guys enjoyed this content, please leave it a like. Don't forget to subscribe. If you're following along on Twitch, go ahead and subscribe. No, not subscribe, follow. And yeah, until next time, please trade safe. It is jungle out there. Peace. Where's the button? Button. Who's got the button? There we go.